All righty, everybody, welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name is Mark Wehner II, team leader at Champions. Joining us today is Russ Williams with Williams Mortgage. So we jump on here every Wednesday and kind of go over what's gone on in the real estate market. So let's jump straight into our graphics here and give you kind of an update real quick. So as far as new listings over the last 7 days, we have 483 new listings. We had 353 contracts get written on those houses and get accepted. And we had 440 new homeowners in regards to that. So typical for this time of year, new listings, as we're seeing some of those people get those houses on the market, as you know, with school coming back and things of that sort. Our pending numbers, which is the new contracts, a little bit lower than what we normally see. But I think obviously, like I just said, I think a lot of the schools and people just kind of, finishing up with their summer vacations and everything that we see. So it's very normal at this time of year. So it's nothing to be concerned about. I still think, we're still seeing some multiple offers on a few houses, seeing home inspections get accepted into the mix with regards to that aspect of it. But let's take a quick look here at the 30,000 foot view of the overall Omaha and Lincoln MLS. So we take a look at the numbers as of this morning. We had just under 2,300 active homes on the Omaha and Lincoln MLS. Last week, it was 2,300 even when I did it. So we didn't have much of a change. The things that we did see kind of the change in there was the new construction versus existing. So we went down on our existing homes and went up on our new construction homes that came available. So we're starting in our last week, we have some agents in there that work with a couple builders. They're seeing some of the new spec homes come on, which we have not seen a lot of spec homes in the market. He said reason for that is some of the buyers financing, as those interest rates went up, they didn't qualify for the loan. So those homes that were custom homes are now back on the market, as a spec home that you can basically just kind of swoop in and buy, and have it basically be done and not have to wait that almost 9 to 12 months for the new construction side of it. So months of inventory sitting right around that, just a little over a month's supply of inventory, which is typical. You start seeing it go up around this time of the year. And then our average sale price is up 13% from this time last year through the 12-month period. So I know we talked last week, the average sale price over the last 5 years has gone up. I believe it was 55% for existing homes over the last 5 years. I think it was 37% over the last 5 years for the new construction. So still a great time to buy and sell. I know Russ has said it many times, marry the house, date the rate, as the interest rates are still kind of, hovering a little bit higher than what we're used to historically. There's still a great rate to get into a house. And if everything that we're kind of seeing the numbers wise, that if interest rates were to go down, you can refinance it and capitalize on that equity that you do have. So maybe you put 15% down at this time to keep a little cash in your pocket. In the next 2 to 3 years, you might get that extra 5% bump that's going to get rid of that private mortgage insurance, which in turn your payment's going to go down a little bit. And obviously, if the interest rates go down, your payment's going to go down with regards to that as well. So you may see a pretty decent savings from a monthly payment aspect of it, and still keeping a little money in your pocket today to maybe if you have repairs to do, you need to buy appliances, window coverings, all that kind of fun stuff. But that's all stuff that we'd love to help you with. Kind of get a game plan for you, whether chatting it over with Russ on what's going on the mortgage side of it, or just getting your education as far as in coaching from a buying a house, selling a house standpoint of it. So we'll jump in here with Russ and kind of see what the interest rates have been doing. I know it's been fairly active. So guys, what are you kind of seeing now?
Mortgage rates have ticked up just a little bit over the last week, Mark, and we do expect they're going to probably go back and forth here for a while. We did see bonds exit to the low side, which pushed mortgage rates up a little bit this morning. Whether or not we see a reversal is kind of hard to say here. Retail sales numbers came in some ways on the core retail sales a little bit above what the market thought they would come in at. And so as a result of that, we are starting to see a little bit of optimism that we might not have a negative third quarter GDP. We're too far away to really know that, to be quite honest. But having said that, there is a school of thought, as long as jobs remain strong, that we could start to see a little bit of a rebound later on. But there's still a reasonable chance that we're going to see a recession here. And that typically points to lower rates in the future. But to your point, and we talked about it before we jumped on the call, homes are still, if they're priced right, there's competitive bidding situations. So this is a great time to buy a home. And to Mark's point, next year, when we do see rates or move downwards, we can always redo and refinance and bring those interest rates down for you. And at the same time, you may pick up enough equity and appreciation over the next 12 months that you could either knock off or reduce the cost of the mortgage insurance premium as well. So this is still a great time to buy, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's going on that point of just basically saving your money, potentially in that cash, not putting it down as much, and kind of looking at what the appreciation is going to be. But yeah, so and if you're obviously out there looking at houses and looking to sell, the market analysis that we're doing, some agents are looking back, we usually go two to 3 months. But those 2 to 3 months numbers that we were using or are using, maybe had 10, 15 offers on those houses that ran that price up pretty good. So we have to take into account, and, an experienced agent here at Champions Real Estate Team can really kind of hone in on what that price should be listed for. And on the flip side, from a buyer's perspective, if you don't have that competition and you look at those numbers, why pay, a crazy exorbitant, that auction price almost. And, and that's why we're starting to see, in my email box, basically home survived the weekend, you're seeing a lot of price reductions because they've priced it, and with accordance of what the market analysis is telling you. But when you don't have as intense of a market, we're not seeing, a huge market shift. It's just, I think the intensity has slowed down just a little bit. It's still, going back to almost a normal market. And with regards to that, like you said, the houses that are updated, clean, ready to rock, those ones maybe pulling, a couple offers on them. But if they're houses that need a little deferred maintenance, that are still a great house, and I think some people have been spoiled, is that, well, if I'm going to pay top dollar, I want everything done. Well, some of those houses now out there, yes, you may pay top dollar for those houses, but on the ones that may need a little elbow grease, if you need carpet, you need paint, that's a fairly inexpensive thing that you may get that house for a little bit less than what you would deem as market price right now, but it's still a good fair price, and you can gain some of that kind of instant equity. And if you only put 10% or 15% down or below that 20% with a private mortgage insurance, in a year or two, give us a holler. I do that a lot with my clients that have bought a house in the last couple of years, is I kind of keep an eye on it and say, hey, I remember you did a 10% down, you may be close to it, 2 years later, hey, call your lender, see if they'll be able to drop that mortgage insurance premium off, depending on if they need an appraisal or anything like that. Sometimes they need just a broker price opinion, a BPO, and that way we can do that for you, or they'll have another agent that they're, the bank is, or the lenders have, they have their own kind of people that they use, and I'll save you some money in that regards too. So, but as always, it's a great time to buy and sell, as a lot of people are on vacation mode, getting those kids back to school. Maybe if you've been out looking, or you kind of got frustrated, at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the summer, even springtime, and you want to get back in it, get in it now before there's not as much, like I just said, intensity out there. Rates may be a little bit higher, but, it's just get your foot in the door with regards to that. So do you have anything else you wanted to add, Russ?
No, great time to buy a house. Welcome back to school. We can get back to home. So. Yeah.
So awesome. Well, I appreciate everyone watching. If you're watching this later, feel free to reach out to me, 402-672-7670. If you got any lender questions, give Russ a holler, 290-8936. Reach out to us on any social media platforms, anything in regards to that, and we're happy to answer your questions. Do a Zoom meeting, meet in person, and just kind of get a game plan for you. I think that's the best thing to do. Whether you're buying a house next week, next month, next year, just give us a holler, and we're happy to sit down with you and get a good idea of what's going on for you. So appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week and have a great weekend. And yeah, welcome back to school, everybody.